Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stresses that Jerusalem will not accept any country to use Syria as a base for attacks against Israel. U.S. President Donald Trump announces that the United States is set to negotiate with Iran directly about its nuclear program. Greece holds a multinational Air Force exercise that includes 14 nations involving the United States, Israel, and Qatar, among others. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House last night for a second time at a hastily arranged visit to the American capital, following the Israeli leader's state visit to Hungary over the weekend. Following consecutive meetings between the two leaders, which also included a joint dinner, Trump hosted Netanyahu at the Oval Office for a press availability of roughly 50 minutes.
We are a friend of Israel, as you know. I would say that I'm by far the best president that Israel has ever even thought of seeing. And it's an honor to be so and to be so thought of.
Mr. President, I want to first thank you for inviting me again to the White House. You've been a remarkable friend of the State of Israel. You stand by us. You're standing with us. You are a great, great champion of our alliance. And you actually do the things that you say you do. And I think that people respect that enormously. I certainly do, and the people of Israel do, and I think the Jewish people do as well.
The first topic raised relates to the Trump administration's decision to impose tariffs of 17% on Israel.
First, if I can mention tariffs, it's a subject of some interest today. I can tell you that I said to the President a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same.
I appreciate very much what you said about the tariffs. We've been ripped off and taken advantage of by many countries over the years, and can't do it anymore. Just can't do it anymore. We can't be the stupid people anymore. And it's all because of the people that sat in the seat right here. Not your seat, but this seat. They allowed things to happen to our country that they shouldn't have allowed to happen on trade and other things.
President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu also discussed the ongoing efforts to free the 59 hostages who've been held in Hamas captivity over the past 550 days in the Gaza Strip.
We spoke about not only the hostages, but about Gaza. The hostages obviously is a human story of just unbearable agony. I speak to the families. I spoke to them yesterday. I spoke to another one when I was in Hungary before I came here. I speak to them every day, and they're in agony. The hostages are in agony, and we want to get them all out. Steve Witkoff, who's President Trump's very able representative, helped us get a deal that got 25 out. We're working now on another deal that we hope will succeed. And we're committed to getting all the hostages out, but also eliminating the evil tyranny of Hamas in Gaza and enabling the people of Gaza to freely make a choice to go wherever they want. I mean, they should have that choice.
Well, I'd like to see the war stop, and I think the war will stop at some point that won't be in the too distant future. Right now we have a problem with hostages. We're trying to get the hostages out. We got quite a few of them out, but it's a long process. It shouldn't be that long. We are trying very hard to get the hostages out. We're looking at another ceasefire. We'll see what happens, but we want to get the hostages out. The Israeli people want the hostages out more than anything. They want the hostages out. This man is working very hard with us to do that. I mean, I don't know. I hope he's being appreciated because he's been a great leader. He's working very, very hard on the hostages and many other things. And there are plenty of things you have to work on. It's a tough place in the world, isn't it?
I have a good partner.
Yeah, you do have a good partner.
Another theater discussed was Syria, where Israel proactively opposes Turkish efforts to entrench militarily in the country.
We've had neighborly relations with Turkey that have deteriorated, and we don't want to see Syria being used by anyone, including Turkey, as a base for attack in Israel. Turkey is a country that has a great relationship with the United States. The president has a relationship with the leader of Turkey. We discussed how we can avoid this conflict in a variety of ways, and I think we can't have a better interlocutor than the president of the United States for this purpose.
Any problem that you have with Turkey, I think I can solve. I mean, as long as you're reasonable. You have to be reasonable. We have to be reasonable. Thank you very much.
President Donald Trump and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who alongside Washington's top political and security brass was also present at the meeting, seized the opportunity to address U.S. Central Command's successful military campaign against the Iranian proxy Ansar Allah, which is dominated by the Houthi tribe in Yemen.
The Houthis, we've been very tough and very successful militarily. We've really damaged them badly. These were people shooting down ships and other things, by the way, flying objects like airplanes. And we've put a major hurt on the Houthis, which nobody's been able to do. We've really hit them hard, and they know it, and they don't know what to do. And it's every night, night after night, and we've gotten many of their leaders and their experts. They're experts on missiles. I mean, they actually make missiles. Nobody thought that, but they make missiles. They're highly sophisticated, and they're very tough, but they've been very badly damaged. Nobody else was able to do that.
Bad 3 weeks for the Houthis, and it's about to get worse. It's been a devastating campaign, whether it's underground facilities, weapons manufacturing, bunkers, troops in the open, air defense assets. We are not going to relent, and it's only to get more unrelenting until the Houthis declare they will stop shooting at our ships. And we've been very clear at the Iranians as well. They should not continue to provide support to the Houthis, and that message has been made very clear.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Donald Trump also spoke about the Islamic Republic of Iran and its blatant efforts to develop nuclear weapon capabilities, to which Jerusalem and Washington are vehemently opposed.
Look, we're both united in the goal that Iran does not ever get nuclear weapons. If it can be done diplomatically in a full way, the way it was done in Libya, I think that would be a good thing. But whatever happens, we have to make sure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons.
We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it. But it's getting to be very dangerous territory. We're dealing with them directly. You know, a lot of people say, oh, maybe you're going through surrogates, or you're not dealing directly, you're dealing through other countries. No, we're dealing with them directly, and maybe a deal is going to be made. That would be great. It would be really great for Iran, I can tell you that.
It is important to know that while President Trump stressed that the negotiations with Iran will be direct, the Islamic Republic's Foreign Minister, Abbas Araghchi, published a statement on his X account in which he claimed the negotiations would be indirect. However, subsequently, Russia's Kremlin spokesman revealed that both direct and indirect talks were scheduled to take place in the Sultanate of Oman.
Мы знаем, что определенные контакты, прямые и непрямые, планируются в Омане. И, конечно, это можно только приветствовать, потому что это может привести к деэскалации напряженности вокруг Ирана.
Meanwhile, in Greece, the Hellenic Air Force is hosting 14 allied and partner air forces to include the United States, Israel, Italy, and even Qatar.
A NIHOS exercise is an Invidex exercise that takes place for the last over 10 years in Greece. The main purpose of this exercise is a large-scale tactical level exercise where countries send their airmen and air crews and ground crews here in Greece in order to participate in a modern combat environment where we use all the lessons learned from the recent fights and conflicts around the world, and we make a scenario that we can test our interoperability and our joint operations all together using the same tactics, the same procedures, and promote this way the cooperation and coordination among even NATO allies or friends and partners from other places of the world.
The exercise, which runs through April 11th, that also includes airmen from Spain, Slovenia, Poland, Montenegro, and France, aims to also focus on offensive and defensive counter-air operations, strategic air missions, combat search and rescue, integrated air and missile defense, and time-sensitive targeting. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to highlight that TV7 Israel is a donation-based ministry with all of our programs made possible by the generosity of our viewers. Therefore, if you're blessed by the content of our productions, please consider becoming a TV7 Israel supporter. You can donate via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.